She needs to go to the building until midnight. Just tell her to stay down there for an hour. Okay. How much is he? Oh yeah, you got those cycles and the Yvonne. You didn't even call Yvonne. I'm gonna let you go. Bye. Okay, now that I have, where's Jessica?
I don't know where she is, sir.
Okay, whatever. I wish she was here because she needs to be here. You know, one thing that I see with you guys is you need to be more of a team. And your basics are out. I'm talking about like when you come into the Sea Org and you go into the estates project force. Like there's a way you address a senior, and there's a way like when your senior is asking you to get products, and you get products. You just go, yes sir, and you go and get it. And it's like, it's just too much H&R, and it's actually, to be honest with you, it's just bank. It is just pure D-bank. I mean, I am actually, it's interesting watching. It is. It's interesting. Like how you guys talk to each other and treat each other. Even if a guy goes crazy, then you don't have to react because they react. If they want to react, then don't react. And I thought that, because it's a barrier to production. It is. It's so much bank until nothing could happen. Oh good. Glad you're here. I don't know. I thought it was something that I liked about this book. That I think that we could do with each other. This is my favorite one. I'm not going to read all of it because it's very long. He says if one were to think over how he or she would like to be treated by others, one would evolve the human virtues. Just figure out how you would want people to treat you. You would possibly, first of all, want to be treated justly. You wouldn't want people lying about you or falsely or harshly condemning you, right? You would probably want your friends and companions to be loyal. Well, what do we mean by loyal?
It means adhering to the fact that you're on that person's side or you're a member of that team or group.
Right. Okay, good. You would not want them to betray you. You could want to be treated with good sportsmanship, not hoodwinked nor tricked. You would want people to be fair in their dealings with you. You would want them to be honest with you and not cheat you, correct? You might want to be treated kindly and without cruelty. You would possibly want people to be considerate of your rights and feelings. When you are down, you might like others to be compassionate. Instead of blasting you, would probably want others to exhibit self-control, right? Now, that doesn't mean like people are going to be that way all the time, because they're not. But if they're not, you don't have to react. So the guy gets pissed. I mean, it's interesting watching, you know, because you go, especially, I don't know, for me after doing the basics, I go, now, is this guy like, is he clear? Is he, I think about all these things. Is he clear, or is he just perping, or is this really a bank dramatization that's happening here? Where there's no calm, there's no ARC. Oh God, there's no ARC. There is totally the opposite of ARC. There's just none, right? So you go, what I mean? Like, you're a team. Div 6 is a team, and then it's a team in itself, and then it's a team with the org. That means that it says if you had any defects or shortcomings, if you made a mistake, you might want people to be tolerant, not critical. Rather than concentrating on censure and punishment, you would prefer people were forgiving, correct? You might want people to be benevolent toward you, not mean or stingy. Your possible desire would be for others to believe in you, not doubt you at every hand. You would probably prefer to be given respect, not insulted. Possibly you would want others to be polite to you and also treat you with dignity, right? You might like people to admire you. When you did something for them, you would possibly like people to appreciate you, correct? You would probably like others to be friendly toward you. From some, you might want love. And above all, you wouldn't want these people just pretending these things. You would want them to be quite real in their attitudes and to be acting with integrity. Okay, he goes into more, but what I thought is I looked at this tonight, and believe me, I have a lot to look at. And I looked at the good and the bad. It was a lot of good stuff that happened tonight, too. And I figured it all out, that you guys have to use each other for what you're good at. And you don't have me, it's not going to stay that way. But you're going to have to cope, because I'm telling you, we're already on a roller coaster. And we're going. I'm telling you, it is like amazing. So, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Like, you have to have arrivals, and you have to have GI. Those two things you have to have. There's not a stat in any of the Div 6s that don't reflect that, except for you. But then eventually, you have to have people come into the org as well. Now, so what are people good at? Well, Damon, for you guys, is good at GI. Now, if he gets GI, he might get arrivals. But if the guy just made 20 Gs, now I'm just saying how, because I've been you guys, I've done your posts. If he just made 20 Gs, and nobody else in the goddamn division makes 20 Gs, it's not like I'm on Damon's side or anything, I really felt this. Then he don't want to hear about he didn't get any arrivals, because he could say the same thing, you didn't get no fucking income. So, okay, he needs some polishing up, he's rusty, he is. Damon is one rusty guy. But he can certainly close better than any of you that I know of. Maybe that isn't true. If it isn't, fine. I'm just saying what I observed, right? So, okay, so have him make the income. Give him a big quota. Make him do it. Feed him cycles. Help him out. And then you guys get the arrivals. Okay. Who's you guys? Michael, if you ran across anything, you would, that's right.
I'll do it.
That's right. You would go and you would get the arrivals, you know what I mean? And maybe you and him would go out sometime, depending. You're going to have to be a team, and you're going to have to look at the plus points in each other. And you got to make a pact between you that you never cave the other one in. You just don't. You don't let your bank go. You don't let it loose. You can always control your bank. We all know that. We know you can get your TRs in and not dramatize. Because behavior is only what's been done to others. And when I see somebody dramatizing, I just go, God, I wonder who did that to them. Who did that very same thing? I wonder who in their family used to do that. Because some of your guys' dramatizations are quite amazing. Damon, you are really good when you get going. You are really good. And I went, I thought to myself, somebody must have teased Damon to no end when he was a little kid. They used to just taunt the shit out of him. to where he's ready. And he's on guard. And he's not gonna let anybody fuck with him. Right. I can see these things. But you know what? We don't have to do that. So you guys need to make a pact between you that you're not going to do that to each other anymore, no matter how bad it gets. You just can't do that because it stops production. Human emotion and reaction is the primary barrier to production. So, because I can't stop someone from coming in the area and be an HNR, but I can have you keep your TRs in. And, you know, like, because if you're a pro TRs grad, even if you're not, you're supposed to be able to handle and control any situation with TRs alone, either in an auditing environment or no auditing environment. You just, with TRs alone, can control any situation. So that means no matter how HNR a person is, you can just handle them and make them happy. Isn't that a new concept? Make that person happy. Okay. I think if you do that, if your basics, that's what I'm talking about on basics. You know, a senior gives you an order. It's yes, sir. It's not all this talk. God, I get upset about all the talk. I don't want to hear that. I got 100 crew to talk to. You think I want to hear every time I ask them a question, well, sir, the reason why it is this way is because, no, I haven't produced anything, but the real reason why I haven't produced anything is because of Pete. Pete, he won't produce a goddamn thing, and I can't do anything about it, and blah. Come on. I don't want to hear that all day. I don't want to hear it 100 times. I'm scared to talk to somebody. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm going to get all this shit. Right? Well, see, I used to give just as much shit as I got. Right? Until I found out that's not the way to do it. It's wrong. So, I'm going to try and get as many people as I can into your division. You are going to have a lot of people. But I don't want them to go into the division with HNR and upset and then, because I wouldn't want to work with you guys. I don't want to work with you like that. I don't want to work in there. So, you know, we got to think about that. If you were a new person, well, we could ask her, what do you think? Look at her.
She doesn't know what to say.
What do you think?
Well, yes, I definitely would want to come and to some place where people will treat me well, and I know that what I can get for my money that I paid for. I wouldn't want to get like any over product or any like over service. I mean, because even if I don't have enough money and like if my money is really hard earned, I would like to spend them on something like good quality thing. Because right now economy is really bad and people don't have a lot of money just to spend like for something that they won't get any good feeling of from. So they trying to.
She's talking more about the Div 6.
Yes,
since you've
Div
been there
6,
for a
let's
week,
say-
what you see.
I mean each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Like
you've
with a new
observed
staff
in Div
member.
6 between us, between the staff.
I don't think she's observed that much.
Well, I did observe a lot of stuff. I'd rather not to say right now.
Well, I think that's our answer. We're not laughing at you, we're just laughing at ourselves, honestly.
Right.
You know, one thing, so there was somebody that came there and there was a public, like Penelope was working there, and she actually left, went out, and she said, Nancy, I can't be there. I said, why? You know what happened there? She said, I said, yeah, but you know, people demand production and this and that. Yeah, but I didn't want to be part of that, and I had to really get her back, right? For half an hour talking to her. But somebody said to somebody in Div 6, what lower condition are you doing? And she heard it, she left right away. but really we wouldn't in a tone of voice. And it's like, okay, well, that's a public area. I include myself. I'm better. I'm not saying I'm like this holy man now, you know, that you have to bow 3 times. I'm not. But I'm just, you know, like, I don't know. People have observed it. I'm not as I was. No, seriously. I mean, people can attest to that. I'm not as, but it's a public area. That's where people see those things. And I understand with her, I've been, you know, trying to keep things rolling and keep her smiling and stuff. So
Anyway, okay, so I think that if we keep that one thing in, then we'll have a lot of people. And that's really all. I'd like for you guys to get together and work out the rest of your statistics that you need to make your 3 points. God, I thought Semaine was coming. I did not know that we were going out there. Okay, that's all.
I suppose not answer another question.
I understand.
Change the topic.